Hi, boys and girls. It's Friday. Yay! It's April 17th, 2020, and today we're going to do a short lesson in writing, and it's all about revising. Now, one thing I want to tell you is that when writers revise their writing, when they read it over and make sure it's easy to read, one thing that they do is they add information. How many of you guys already know that? You're so smart. You guys all know we add details, we add information, but there's something else that writers do. Sometimes writers, with all of their hard work when they've been writing, they reread their writing, and sometimes they take parts out. Yeah, sometimes writers read their writing and they think, wait a minute, does this help convince people of what I'm talking about? And they take it out. Look at my guy right here. He's concentrating so hard on his writing, and he's thinking to himself, this sentence does not make sense. I will take it out. Yeah, right here he's thinking to himself, does this sentence help convince? So you guys, I know sometimes it's hard to take writing out of your writing because you've worked so hard to put it there and you've done your best. But sometimes if it doesn't make sense or if it doesn't convince your reader that the book that you're writing about is the best, you might want to take it out. So I'm going to show you one that I did. I am reviewing the book, The Monster, at the end of this book. And a lot of you guys know that this is one of my favorites from when I was a kid. This book was made a year before I was made, which is pretty hilarious. Because you guys know that I am old. But I'm wise too. So we're going to look at The Monster at the end of this book. I was writing a book review. I put it right here. You can see that I already scratched out a few things because as I was writing, I realized I changed my mind a couple of times. But let's read this together. It says, The Monster at the end of this book is a silly book that stars Grover. Grover is a character from Sesame Street, but he's not my favorite character from Sesame Street. I like Oscar the Grouch and Rosita. This book will hook you from the very first explosive page. Grover hears the title of the book and is terrified. He spends the whole book trying to get you to stop turning the pages. So you guys, I'm not finished with my review yet. I'm going to keep working on it. That was just my first day. But did you hear anything in there that I might need to take out? Was there anything in there that really wasn't about this book called The Monster at the end of this book? Was there some information in there that told you about something else but not this book? Okay, I want you to listen for it this time. We're going to read it one more time, and I want you to see if you can find one thing in there that actually is not talking about the monster at the end of this book. Okay, let's read it one more time. The monster at the end of this book is a silly book that stars Grover. Grover is a character from Sesame Street, but he's not my favorite character from Sesame Street. I like Oscar the Grouch and Rosita. This book will hook you from the very first explosive page. Grover hears the title of the book and is terrified. He spends the whole book trying to get you to stop turning the pages. Did you guys hear it? Yeah. Did I need to tell you who my favorite characters were on Sesame Street? No. Because if you've ever read this book, or even if you haven't, this book is only starring Grover. Look, it even says right here, starring lovable, furry old Grover. It's only about Grover, and it has nothing to do with the characters on Sesame Street that I like. So that part of my review is actually not convincing anybody to read this book, The Monster at the end of this book. So I'm going to take my marker. I couldn't find my pencil, so I'm just using a marker, and that's totally okay. You can write with whatever you can find. Let's see. The monster at the end of this book is a silly book that stars Grover. Ooh, I'm going to tell you one more thing. When people write titles, they usually underline the title of the book, and that way people know that it's a title of a book. So I'm going to go ahead and underline that because I just saw it. The monster at the end of this book is a silly book that stars Grover. Grover is a character from Sesame Street. Maybe we could tell people that Grover is a character from Sesame Street, so I'll put a period there. But this right here, but he is not my favorite character from Sesame Street. I like Oscar the Grouch and Rosita. Whoa, do you see how much, oh, I had to cross off all of that writing. Do you think I'm going to cry because I had to edit my work and cross out some writing that didn't make sense or that didn't convince people to read that book? I am a little sad that I did all that work and now I'm having to cross it out. But it's not going to make me keep trying because I'm kind of like Goldilocks and I'm going to keep working until this writing is just how I want it. Okay, let me see if I can finish this review because, you know, I remember that to end a review, we introduce the book, we introduce the characters, and then we tell a situation, which I just told, and then we can end with a question if we want to. I found another chart right here that tells us that. We introduce the characters, which I did. We explain the situation or share an interesting fact, which I did. And now I'm going to end by asking a question. He spends the whole book trying to get you to stop turning the pages. What question can I ask, you guys? Tell me. All right, I'm going to get to work on my review, and I'm going to figure out the question. Maybe I'll use your idea, but I'm going to figure out my ending for my review, and I can't wait to see your reviews. You guys, we're going to spend one more week on book reviews, okay? So, one more week, and then we're done. So, remember, you should have 2 or 3 already done that you're editing and that you're working on. Today, I'm going to... Never mind. All right, happy writing. I'll see you on Monday.